Hello and welcome to the Comicsspiracy episode 354 for the week of February 14th, Valentine's Day.
Oh,
Bummer.
shit. We're recording on Valentine's Day?
We are.
I mean, you did something with Leanne, right?
On Saturday. Leanne at work today. It was her first day all back to work.
Oh, how did she enjoy that experience?
She hates it.
Welcome to the hellscape that I live.
Yeah. But it's college. It's not public school. So
she can like punch kids in the face that don't put their masks over their nose. Oh, you little fucker!
Pretty confident they can kick them out of the class. Yeah,
nice.
They're not wearing the mask. Yeah.
Can she tase them?
I was gonna say, my name is Ryan Higgins. Who's here with me this week?
Brock Sager.
Hey, it's Brock. Just the two of us. I thought Jim was going to be here. Kevin, I didn't think was going to be able to make it today. Jim said he was going to be here, and then he...
Oh, you need to mute on Zoom.
Oh,
I'm getting echoey.
Hey, look at that. I'm muted.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, I thought Jim said he's going to be on here, but okay, whatever, Jim. If you jump on, well, we got space for you. You're all good. Hey, we're going to talk about some comic book stuff because there's always comic book stuff to talk about, and the first thing we're going to talk about is everyone's favorite sales charts. Well, I'm actually doing sales charts, but
please don't ever make that the intro music.
That's going to be our jingle every time we do sales charts.
No.
Continuing our coverage of sales of 2021, we do have a little bit of update. Comichron, our wonderful friends at Comichron.com.
And those number crunching nerds are amazing.
Yeah, they posted some numbers about estimates for direct market sales. This includes Diamond, Lunar, and Penguin Random House. And although we are, of course, very much in estimate territory here because of the split in the distribution and
this is another split in the distribution because this was, I mean, Lunar would already split, but now we have Penguin Random House coming in. So there's 3 distributors this year.
Right. So obviously sales in 2021 are up dramatically over 2020. No real surprise. Although 2020 was not a bad year. Sales were up. Unit sales of comic books, dollar sales of comic books, and dollar sales of comic books and graphic novels combined were up between 36 to 53% between all 3 of those. So up pretty significant over 2020. But, for everyone that wants to continuously repeat the lie, the comic books are dying, we should also say the comic books, the total units sold, so not dollars, units sold was up 12% over 2019. The dollar sales were up 16% over 2019. Of course, when you combine comic books and graphic novels in the direct market, this is not bookstores, this is just comic stores, up 14% over 2019. Those are significant increases over the pre-pandemic years. So
what's pre-pandemic at this point? I think we just don't know anymore.
2019 and earlier, man. So there is just a significant amount of increase in sales of comics. 2021 was an absolute banner year. Obviously, we saw it at our store. Obviously, stores went out of business in 2020. Plenty of stores closed, but most didn't, and most stuck around, and many are doing very, very well.
Well, I think some of those store closures spread some of those sales to other stores, so they benefited from, of course, those stores closing. But also, there wasn't the hindrance of not producing comic books for a couple months or for like 2 months. And also everything coming back up to steam and people being engaged in the market.
Yeah, 2020 sales were always going to be down. But the fact that they weren't down like
that drastically,
80% or something. Yeah, they were down, but they were not down that much. And sales obviously, nearly double what they were in 2020. So up, 12 to 15% or so, almost 20% over the 2019 numbers, which had been up over 2018, up over 2017. So yeah, we're still seeing some pretty significant increases, comic sales year to year. So, and again, that is both single issues and graphic novels. Obviously, graphic novels, especially manga, had an absolutely ridiculous year in 2021 in bookstores and Amazon and online vendors. So, yeah, all great news all around. We're definitely we're not dead yet. Every year just keeps becoming better. But they keep saying that the comic industry is dying and it's over. But it seems like whenever they say that, it's just sales are even higher. So there you go. This is actually, man, this is one I wish Jim was here. I would love to talk to him about this. This is a pretty interesting art book release. Marvel's been doing a little bit more of this type of stuff recently. They didn't used to do quite so many art books, and they would do like those DK, like, you know,
they would normally
Marvel Encyclopedia.
Yeah, they would normally like what is it? Get hand those to other people, like license those things out to.
Well, yeah, no, and this is too. Yeah, this is, but you know, they're definitely. I think we're seeing Disney really flex their muscle here with Marvel as far as it goes to licensing out their properties to other book companies to do some pretty interesting art books and licensed titles like through Scholastic and a few other things. So this is Marvel and Abrams Comic Arts is going to do the Uncanny X-Men Trading Cards complete hardcover collection, which is going to have a it's like a digest-sized collection, but it's going to reprint the entire 1992 Jim Lee X-Men trading card set.
It's digest size?
Well, I mean, it's going to be probably small. Like, it's going to maybe be a little bit bigger than the cards, but they have the a bunch of the cards in that set were like, you know, they would combine together to create like the X-Men #1 cover.
There was a 9-panel Danger Room one. There was like the copy of the X-Men cover, #1 cover that they took from 4 and did, I think, in 3, or they did 4 cards. I don't remember. Yeah.
So all those, this is really cool. I like this type of stuff.
I'm gonna snag one of these. Like, that was part of me growing. I mean, I distinctly remember like trading cards and getting that X-Men set, and you know, like,
well, that is 100% part of my comic book secret origin was going to the sports card store and seeing the comic book cards, like that Marvel Trading Card Series 1 set. When I knew what comic books were, and I knew because I knew the movie, and, you know, like the Batman movie and the Fantastic Four cartoon that I'd watched a lot of. But that is one of my the things that led me to actually buy the comic books was the trading cards. And I'm sure a lot of people right around our age, a little bit older, a little bit younger, those cards were just everywhere, right? They were so popular. And they, you know, really good people did art on those cards.
That X-Men set was really solid. Like,
oh yeah,
the set before it was good, but I think the X-Men set just catapulted it, like, just catapulted like trading cards to a whole new level and kind of started the burnout, right?
Oh, there definitely was too many, you know, and obviously the comics suffered at the same point, right? That's when you know, shortly after the card market completely crashed, the sports card and non-sport card comic book market completely crashed. You just had tons of speculators coming in, but you know, it is this is very cool because this is definitely a throwback to when we were younger, and you know, I don't know if they're. I mean, I feel like Marvel pretty soon is going to reuse these cards as as variant covers or something like that.
Well, they had already done the Masterworks,
ones. Yeah.
And they've already done a couple of the Jim Lee ones because some of the Jim Lee art was used for some of those when they did the Jim Lee month. That was from the trading cards.
Yeah. They've used some of this stuff before, but I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, do another round when this comes out at the same time.
Well, the thing is like those were okay covers, except they didn't really. improved the quality of the image and kind of zoomed in, like blew it up. And so they were a little some of them were a bit grainy.
Yeah.
They weren't the best. And I'm like,
for some of them.
Come on, guys. Like,
well, they've taken this this style here and all the recent X-Men trading card covers, quote unquote trading card covers that they do for the current X-Men book. They have the same design with the little like X in this corner and the same sort of border and everything. So it's cool to see them kind of homage back to that with new art. So yeah, these were very, very popular. I think this is going to be a big set. Like I said, it's kind
of
a
$24.99, right? For the hardcover.
I
think that's the price I saw on the article.
Yeah. No, of course, big comic news from this past week is been teased for a while, and I think we even talked about it here briefly in the podcast with Josh Williamson to some degree. But we knew something big was coming around the corner for DC in 2022, and we now have all the details. We'll give you a little bit of info here. We'll obviously have a lot more to say in the coming months when the book actually is released. But in May, we will see the launch of Dark Crisis number 0, the Free Comic Book Day special edition, and then following up in June, the actual Dark Crisis series. This has been Justice League Incarnate, Superman, or Justice League 75, the upcoming quote unquote Death of the Justice League story, and what was the previous one?
Infinite Frontier.
Infinite Frontier, thank you, was sort of the lead up.
This is everything that's spun out of Death Metal into Infinite Frontier into Justice League Incarnate, stuff that's going to come in from the Justice League 75 stuff. It's all culminating in this Dark Crisis event. Because DC loves their crises.
Well, yeah. So this is the first crisis since Final Crisis, which was quite a while ago at this point. Obviously, we've had a couple of DC events like Flashpoint and
Convergence.
Convergence. Now I was thinking the other one.
Metal.
Metal, but no. What's the other one called? Forever Evil.
Oh, Forever Evil. Yeah.
So we've had a few of these big DC events, but it has been quite a while since we've had an actual crisis. But yeah, the Death of the Justice League, I think, would definitely.
I mean, you could probably call Metal the Metal Crisis. The Death Metal Crisis. They just cut the
Scott
crisis part off.
Well, he called Death Metal like the Anti-Crisis, right? It undid what all the crisis stuff that had happened, and that's part of the setup for here. Is that if you haven't been reading it, I'm sure the number 0 will sort of prep you on a lot of this stuff, but it's a pretty cool concept that because of the way the multiverse have been split and reality is kind of coming and going, the idea of Darkseid kind of being a sole being, the new gods do not have multiverse counterparts. They are singular. They are unique, right?
Yeah.
New Genesis and Apocalypse are sort of like, I mean, they've sort of set up, Earth as the center of the multiverse, but really those are
right now there's
they were
Earth Prime and there's Earth.
Well, Earth Zero is the main DC universe, but
no, there's 2 right now.
Well, there's a bunch.
No, there's 2 main ones right now. There's Earth. Because they said they created there's that other Earth.
Well, that's different. That's the Earth. Yeah, I forget what that's called. Like, but that's
Earth,
not.
Is it Earth Prime?
No. I know what you're talking about though, but that I don't think that's gonna really have anything to do with this. I feel like they sort of abandoned that concept pretty quick. It's kind of weird. But the interesting idea here that they've set up with the Darkseid is that Darkseid, the great darkness, which is a thing from Alan Moore's Swamp Thing that's sort of beyond the regular world. as well as the Great Darkness Saga, which is a Legion of Superheroes event for the future, which is obviously the Great Darkness is Darkseid. So sort of combining these three separate ideas into one thing, that Darkseid's power through all these crisis events and splitting of the multiverse has sort of fractured him. And now all that energy is back, and he is now like the ultimate prime, singular, complete dark side that we've never really seen before. Maybe we haven't seen since Crisis, at least. And all the characters with sort of death or demonic like powers, Neuron, Ares, Eclipso. I'm trying to think of also something that is Necron.
Yeah.
All those types of characters are now, whether they are part of Darkseid or working with Darkseid, it's not. I mean, we'll find out exactly, whether he's controlling them. We don't exactly know, but I
looked it up. It's Earth Zero and Elseworlds.
Yeah, Elseworlds was they sort of made Elseworld its own Earth, and they made that one where like they just kind of named and aged naturally, but they never really went back to that.
Yeah.
I think they just sort of, I don't know if they're going to do anything with that again. But yeah, with the Justice League gone, obviously it is now up to the sidekicks, the supporting cast.
Yeah, we talked about this before. It's kind of like, this is a moment to let Jonathan Kent shine, the new Wonder Girl shine. Like,
well, they're definitely putting Dick Grayson, Wally West, Yara Flor, John Kent, Damien's in the picture. What the hell's her name? Green Lantern.
Shit, the one with the gauntlet.
No, not Teen Lantern.
Oh, the Far Center one.
No.
Jessica
Cruz. Yeah, Jessica Cruz is in there. Sorry, just totally blank. The Teen Titans, Young Justice, all the Aqualad, all the sort of sidekick secondary characters are now stepping up because the Justice League is out. So, and Josh Williamson said in some interviews here, like, yes, it's called Dark Crisis because of the dark energy of dark side, blah, blah, everything. But this book is not about like, we're not going to kill everyone and it's going to be some horrible, sad, depressing story. Like, this is about the legacy of DC and these characters stepping up, and there's going to be, there should be some for positive outcome. Spoiler alert: the good guys probably win at the end. That's usually, I hate to spoil the big event for you, but that's how this
they're not Marvel.
They
don't have reins, so
no, it's and I'm definitely looking forward to this. Williamson's done some really good stuff. I really like the Infinite Frontier stuff he's been doing. I just love the multiverse. I love all these characters, and especially seeing like Eclipso and Necron and Darkseid. Like, that's really cool. And they're bringing Pariah back. He's kind of a fun Crisis character that's going to make a comeback. So, I'm obviously super excited. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Of course, you're excited. And, like, you saw that little trailer and you were like,
there's this awesome shot. There's just this awesome page of of the Justice League and all the new kids, and then just sort of like all the little like heads. It's very classic, very like classic DC.
Well, it's that George Perez one, right? Like that.
It's definitely it's not George Perez, but
it's George Perez inspired.
Yes, it's definitely inspired. It's got all the it's a great double page spread with the JLA JSA team up, the origin of the Titans, Young Justice. Yeah, it's very, very cool. These are definitely some of my favorite parts of the DC universe, and I'm a big fan of the connective tissue of these characters and the legacy, and that was one of the big parts of the Didio years that I really didn't like, was getting rid of that element. Even Marvel has really gravitated towards the multiple characters and the legacy aspect, which they never really did before. It's a much more recent.
I know what
thing
Crisis
from
you forgot.
Marvel.
Heroes in Crisis. That's the Crisis you forgot.
Yeah, that's not really.
Hey,
that's not,
it's a crisis, man. It was a crisis.
Yeah,
they were in crisis.
Sure. A little bit of a different
Hey,
Crisis.
the font that they're using for Dark Crisis is a similar font to the Heroes in Crisis font. So,
is it? I have to see.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know if I saw I don't think any of the images I saw had a logo. Well, we'll definitely touch more on Dark Crisis as it comes up.
No, I've been enjoying it. Like Justice League Infinite has been good. Like I've enjoyed that. Infinite Frontier was good. Like there are things that I'm going to probably want to reread before like I dive into Dark Crisis again, or Dark Crisis period. But for the most part, I think that DC normally does a good job with those 0 issues of kind of getting you up to speed and kind of getting you where you need to be. So, yeah. But yeah, if you have not yet checked it out and you're curious, then I would definitely recommend going back and reading Infinite Frontier and Justice League Infinite.
Yeah, I feel a few people are
Incarnate.
kind of sitting off on that because it is definitely a big lead-up story to everything else going on. Maybe 2 different miniseries wasn't the best way to go into it, but it sets up all the House of Heroes stuff and the it kind of sets everything up.
Yeah.
So we're gonna move over to some movie and TV news and energy questions this week. Well, I'll talk about this. Oh, we are going to save Doctor Strange trailer for the end in case you don't want to be spoiled about any of that stuff. I definitely told Kevin, good luck not being spoiled because everything is going to be spoiled about Doctor Strange before it comes out. But we do have a handful of comic.
Spoiler: Doctor Strange is in it.
Well, yeah, a couple Doctor Stranges, but before that, actually, quite a few comic, movie, and TV stuff got dropped today. We're February. We're halfway through February, so the summer is coming. The new shows are coming. We're starting to get a lot of news drops for upcoming stuff.
We're gonna get some trailers soon.
Well, we did. We already got some trailers. We got some very short teaser trailers and the Doctor Strange trailer. But we did get Empire. We had the Moon Knight trailer, obviously, that dropped a little while ago, but we get a much better look at Moon Knight. And it's unclear. I assume we're going to get multiple Moon Knight personalities within the show because we've already seen kind of a couple costumes. But they specifically have shown the Declan Shalvey, Warren Ellis era Moon Knight where he's in like the suit and it's very, very clean, not all capes and
it's the white suit with the just solid white mask.
Yeah, and that it's such a good costume. I assumed we'd see some element of this in the show. Although I don't know, I guess they could have just stayed with the regular costume. But I do like this costume quite a bit, so it'll be interesting to see what they do with not just Mark Spector and kind of whatever sort of multiple personality thing he has, but if they're also going to have like multiple personality Moon Knights, like different versions of the same
Ellis,
of him.
Ellis kind of had that going with his series. It was that kind of Moon Knight was transitioning into a new look, but there was still kind of that classic look that popped up every now and then in his run. Jeff Lemire kind of ran with that one as well, kind of intermixing both the newer look and the older look. So, and it even looks like some of this stuff might be time jumped. So we might be seeing stuff in the past, as well as stuff, that's currently happening. So
yeah, it's not, I mean, I think they're still keeping a lot of the specifics kind of, off the table, but it's cool looking
that
suit.
cape shot was nice. Did you see the 30-second thing they put at the Super Bowl?
I didn't see the Super Bowl ad.
There's a really great shot of the cape. at one point, and it's just like, okay, nice, touche. So
just
it's an
him on a
action
building or
shot,
something
and
like that.
and he jumps up, and when he's floating down, the cape turns into the moon,
Oh, okay.
right? And it looked really, really smooth, and I was like, okay, all right.
Kevin Feige did say that like that they're not holding back, that this show's going to be pretty violent, and we'll see. I mean, some of the Star Wars stuff has definitely been, there's no blood obviously, but Star Wars is going, some of that stuff was pretty, darkish. It's actually a great segue into our next topic. I assume it will not be Daredevil level of violence, but or Punisher or anything like that. But I think I'm hoping Moon Knight is darker, more violent. I don't really care if there's a bunch of blood. I don't need that. I don't necessarily need like bones sticking out of people's arms on screen.
You don't need,
but you can.
I think it works for certain things, and it works at certain levels. So like The Boys, it works.
Yeah. No, that's what I mean. For The Boys, absolutely. I don't need Moon Knight to be rated R.
No.
But it should be violent.
But you don't need blood excessively flung around CG style.
Correct.
And all of this stuff, because,
the comic is not bloody, but it is violent. I want him beating the holy hell out of people in every episode. I want him going just crazy. And that's I don't need it to be the Punisher. I don't need just bodies everywhere. But you can do incredible action. The floor
just go into my brain right now.
You can do incredible action and violence without the gore, without the blood. Yeah. Just it doesn't have to be a bunch of one punch and the guy's out. I want to see some real good action in this. And Moon Knight, Moon Knight should deliver. The reason I said this was a good segue is because another topic, Daredevil, Luke Cage, Punisher,
Defenders.
Jessica Jones, Defenders, Iron Fist, all of them will be off Netflix as of March 1st. We don't know where they're going. I assume Hulu, but the end of an era. The Netflix shows are no longer the Netflix shows. Yep. They are off. Off Netflix.
I still have yet to watch like season 3 of Daredevil, any Iron Fist, any Jessica Jones, any Defenders, any Punisher.
I've been no like massive reviews or anything like that, but I actually did go back. So I have I finished Daredevil. I watched the 3rd season. It was good. 3rd season was fine. I don't think it was necessarily better or worse than the other 2 seasons. I think there's bits of all of them I liked. I think it starts really slow. I don't think Daredevil season 3 really gets good until the end. I think they really waste Bullseye for the majority of that season. He's great at the the last 2 episodes or whatever, but he's kind of wasted through the rest of the show. So I finished Luke Cage, which I liked both seasons. I finished Iron Fist, which I actually didn't mind. I thought Iron Fist was fine. It's not great, but it's fine. I don't think it deserves the hate. Defenders is trash. I'm actually a few episodes in the Punisher season 2 now. Maybe I could finish Punisher before. At the rate I'm going, maybe not. But at least I'll get I'll try to finish Punisher before it goes off Netflix. I mean, I have Hulu, so if it's there, that's fine. I mean, it could be on Disney Plus. I don't think so.
Well,
but
so this is the thing is I think what people misunderstand about Disney Plus is that bringing stuff over, like potentially bringing the X-Men stuff, the Deadpool stuff, all that stuff over and enveloping it into just the Marvel section. It basically requires them to. The regular Disney Plus accounts are just normal accounts, right? They're for people who are adults, basically, right? They're paid accounts.
But they have kids.
No, they have kid accounts, and I think at this point it's more along the lines of they might go into a tiered system for these things, right? They might have like a regular Disney Plus account, a kids account, and then like a PG-13 account, right? Like parents can automatically put that stuff, and so it will filter.
I think you already can. I mean,
I don't know specifically. I set my kids' accounts up as kids' accounts, so they can't access. Like my daughter is the one that has the most restrictions. My son might just be a regular account.
Yeah, I mean, but there's nothing on Disney Plus that's. I mean, the Marvel shows.
I mean, besides Guardians and Thor.
I mean, if these came over and were on Disney Plus, that would be a pretty dramatic shift because these are like, really adult, 18 plus, 17 plus. So I would be pretty shocked. I'd be great. I think they should. I think Disney Plus should actually absolutely have more adult content on it. But I think it's very unlikely. If they're gonna have Star Wars stuff, so. There is a level of violence to the MCU shows in Star Wars, but they're not the Netflix shows. Yeah. I think it's pretty unlikely. I would assume Hulu, but we'll see.
Well, the difficult part is because Kevin Feige has had Daredevil now in an MCU adjacent movie, and they're bringing them in unless they bring him in as like another dimension one that's more in line with the MCU violence and stuff like that. Like I can get, but yeah, I don't know if like putting those on Hulu is not pushing me to pay more for the service just to get those.
No, I don't think you'd pay more for it.
For Hulu?
I'm assuming it'll just be on Hulu.
No, it'll be on Hulu, but I don't have the Disney Plus Hulu thing. I just have Disney Plus. I don't pay for the extra. Yeah. Like Hulu thing, so
yeah. We'll see where it goes. Pretty surprising. So I have not finished it. So Jessica Jones season 3 would obviously be the last thing because I've been watching them in order. Especially with Charlie Cox coming over and then playing Daredevil. I mean, that'd be great if they all come over. They're all again, and yes, even Iron Fist. I think they're all perfectly fine. He's Iron, I think he's really good Iron Fist. He's Iron Fist. I mean, Iron Fist is a white guy. I don't know what else to say. They all, especially Kristen Ritter is Jessica Jones is fucking perfect. Yeah. Even Punisher, they're all awesome. Like the cast of all of them is great. I would absolutely love for them to all come over and reprise their roles on MCU stuff. I wouldn't want them to edit them out. Like if they cut the shows down and made them PG-13.
Oh, that would be atrocious. Plus,
I just can't imagine them doing that.
That'd be the worst.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that. We'll see. I'm excited either way. Some DC news, and then we'll hit up Doctor Strange. Out of nowhere, DC released a little teaser clip of the Batman, Black Adam, Flash, and Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Batman didn't. I mean,
Batman was just more Batcat, couple random explosion things. It was normal.
Pretty confident stuff we've already seen. Flash, there's a little bit of plot, little bit more of a plot in there. I mean, stuff we already knew, but at least they're officially saying he's traveling the multiverse and doing all this stuff. And we do get that actual shot of him, what appears to be another multiverse Flash and Supergirl. So what looks like the Injustice Supergirl. So that had been a still release before, but actually now part of that footage.
We got Michael Keaton as narration, so
yeah. Aquaman really didn't show anything, but a little bit more Aquaman stuff. So that's obviously the furthest one out. However, the big one was Black Adam. So we saw that quite a bit of Black Adam stuff in there with full character reveal shots, costumes, powers, everything of Dr. Fate. Cyclone, we didn't see her powers. She's just walking around. Hawkman and Atom Smasher. And I am, fucking love it. Awesome.
You're just waiting for the Mr. Mind cameo at the end.
Oh, I hope so. And Pierce Brosnan is Dr. Fate's.
It's
great casting. Yeah, Ken Nelson. It's a great cast.
Oh, I cannot wait for the asshole Kent Nelson, for him to play the asshole Kent Nelson.
Yeah. I wonder how they're gonna play that up. Atom Smasher should be a lot of fun. I like giant characters. I like characters that get big or small. So we'll see. That should be cool. And that Cyclone, we haven't seen any of the effects, so I'll be curious how they play her off. She's a really fun character in the comics from the Jeff Johns JSA. And Hawkman, awesome. There was elements of Hawkman and Arrowverse stuff that I was like, oh, this is cool. They really butchered those characters. Just their entire story sucked. So
you didn't like the Legends Hawkman? It wasn't horrible.
No, it wasn't horrible. It just their whole arc just sort of meandered off, and it wasn't great.
It was the wingspan that did it for you, wasn't it? It was just that shot of the wings, just
a full. In this teaser, it's great. Yeah, that shot of Hawkman was awesome. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for that.
Well, we should get a trailer soon for Black Adam.
I assume we'll get a Black Adam, like an official Black Adam trailer
with Batman.
With Batman, yeah.
Did you buy your tickets?
They'll kind of no, not yet. No. I'm assuming they're gonna keep having each one will sort of tease the next one. So Batman should have Black Adam. Black Adam should have Flash. Flash should have Aquaman. So yeah, I think we'll. It's July 29th. You still got plenty of time. They usually do the effects right at the very end, but we should get I would expect because we've had a couple teaser trailer stuff, short stuff. I would think we'll get a real official trailer by the time Batman's out. Yeah, it was great. It was great looking. Super excited for that. Out of nowhere today, DC announced another movie, and I believe this is going just to HBO Max.
It's live action HBO Max. I think I quickly skimmed the article, and that's what it seemed like it was.
Yeah. But there's going to be a Wonder Twins live action movie. So it's written and directed by some of the people behind the Black Adam movie. So that's cool. People are already in house. Wonder Twins obviously were a very goofy concept in Super Friends, but when they actually brought them into real continuity recently, with the real version of them through the Mark Russell and Brian Michael Bendis stuff, they're fantastic. I love the Wonder Twins. They're very, very fun. They're like the modern comic versions. That Wonder Twins series is really good. We're all big Mark Russell fans here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that Flintstones Deluxe hardcover came out last week.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
so
yeah,
beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, sorry.
Oh, no. It's great. It's a great collection. But yeah, a Wonder Twins live action movie could be pretty fun. Again, they're fun characters. Again, right? The modern version.
Well,
and
I kind of like that Warner Brothers is taking these characters and going, you know what? We're going to do straight to streaming movies. You and I grew up with straight to VHS, right? Straight to DVD, right? There was a ton of movies that were just straight to Blockbuster, right? That's how you were exposed to these, is you were perusing that ginormous new release wall that you felt so bad for all the employees that had to shift that thing every week, right? But as the rental market faded, we got less and less and less kind of those straight to movies. And I think it's good that they're willing.
It's all the animated movies now.
Well, yeah, but it's I like that they're going, you know what? Let's take a couple of these characters and these ideas and just do them as straight to streaming, right? Just do it to the streaming market, get it out there as, just something to entice people in to get in, right? Because who knows, right? Much like comic books, it's like you have a different avenue. Somebody might watch Wonder Twins and then be, completely go through the DC catalog and be like, I love this stuff, and then now they're a restore the Ayerverse, Snyderverse, junkie. But hey, to each his own, man.
Yeah, no, it's like with the Marvel stuff, go crazy. A lot of these characters are, different from the comic versions, but that's great. They can experiment, do their own things. Maybe something super cool happens that's different from the comic and makes it work better. We're gonna get Batgirl, Wonder Twins, Blue Beetle. Those are younger characters aimed at a new audience. That's great stuff.
Yeah.
So, I'm obviously I'm usually there a little bit more for the traditional stuff, but that's there's not just
if they announced they were dropping a Booster Gold straight to streaming movie, you would be like, boom, I'm there like at 12:01.
Oh, I'll watch anything. Yeah, there's just so many movies and shows now. Like I can,
I just,
I don't have time for all of them. So like, whatever, like let's go crazy, guys.
Well, I just appreciate now that we, yes, there's maybe a little too much at times or all the time, but I think I just appreciate them embracing the different mediums more, right? Like there's the comic books, there's TV, there's this, there's, it's like they're not, everything's kind of in a big melting pot now versus, nope, we have to have TV over here and the video games over here. Like now everything can kind of, grow and just be enjoyed by all however they want. Right. So, because I think that was a huge problem, at least with Warner Brothers, because it was like, look, Batman or Superman. Oh, look, Batman, nothing to do with each other, but they're just these characters. Right. And then everybody wants them to build the universe, and then they start trying to do that, and then they back away, and then we go back to it, and Marvel does the ginormous MCU thing, and they're utilizing the TV to expand that even more. So
yeah. Well, and with 4 to 5 shows and 3 to 4 movies a year, that is a whole lot of content. And DC, they're not sitting down. They're coming at the same clip. It's crazy.
Yep.
It feels like DC took a few years off, kind of post Justice League, and obviously stuff is still coming out. Pandemic probably helped kind of give them some time to sort of realign some stuff. But they both companies are putting out an incredible amount of content, and they're not sticking to just the biggest of the big stuff.
Yeah.
They're really doing a bunch of more minor characters and unique characters.
Well, there's only so many slots you can put blockbusters in at the movie theater, right? Apparently, because
they just give it all to the comic people. Like they're just gonna have there's gonna be a million it's gonna be a million just a million shows and a million movies out soon. So yeah, it's crazy. It's just crazy how much stuff is coming out. And on that note, we're going to move over to our final topic of the night, the Doctor Strange trailer. Speaking of a million things coming out.
Oh, fuck. I mean, I wonder how many people got epileptic seizures from that trailer. Just holy crap.
Well, we are in full
trailer spoiler. Jesus.
Yeah. We're in full spoiler mode right now.
Trailer because
well, this is the funny thing about trailers, right? Is people are picking apart every frame, every inch of every frame to try to figure out, what's going on. And The internet is usually pretty good about figuring this stuff out. I actually had a little article here. Let me grab it so I make sure I don't miss anything here. So again, we're in full spoiler here. So this is a lot of this is not official, but again, it tends to kind of they usually are pretty good about this, right? So obviously we get more Wanda and this and
no shit.
I think
everybody knows that from watching WandaVision.
Well, right. Post WandaVision stuff. So there are parts of WandaVision I had some issues with, but Wanda going badass is not one of them. I really want to see what they do with her in this. I felt like she's been pretty underused in the movies, really until they kind of didn't do a ton with her until Endgame, where she did kind of they made her pretty powerful in a couple fights in that. But
no, they did it with, it was Infinity War when her and Viz, like their relationship, and she's.
Oh, I mean power wise, like when she's fighting off against Thanos and all them by herself, like that's a great scene. Yeah. They finally gave her like her real power.
The Infinity War Endgame is where they kind of finally let her character come out and just be the character that she's supposed to be.
Yeah. Now, I'll leave these little couple bits to the very end here. We're definitely getting that evil Doctor Strange that it seems like the version from What If. I don't know why they would have another evil Doctor Strange. I don't know if it's going to be the exact same character or just like a
just the live action version of the character.
There's a couple of these like some of the stuff in What If feels like it might be in here. I know there's some rumors, people are like, oh, are they going to do like the Marvel Zombie stuff in this too, is one of the other multiverse appearances. Baron Mordo's back, so we get a bunch. Happy stop, dogs barking. But the there's a couple. Actually, hold on one second, Brock. You talk for a second. I get my dog in.
So I honestly only got like to watch I didn't really get to rewatch it a couple times. I only watched it a quick once through, but yeah, it had like the evil Doctor Strange. It had like there was a weird looking one with the Doctor Strange. It seemed like there was a lot going on. They're really pushing that the multiverse stuff to it.
I'm back.
Which again, like I don't mind the What If stuff if it comes into this, as long as they kind of explain that, when you look at that stuff through this filter, you see it as a cartoon, but this is the real life like it's really in real life, right? It's like the only way to see this is through this lens. If you don't have this lens, it looks like this, right? Or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
But they had some interesting. There's just so much going on in the trailer, and like there's quick shots of things.
Well, so the big two are
The Voice.
Well, the rumor for a while, and it seems pretty likely based off with some of the stuff that's shown in the trailer, is that we're being introduced to the Illuminati, which is a group within the Marvel universe of characters that this was during the Brian Michael Bendis run of New Avengers, where they sort
Doctor
of like
Strange, Iron Man, Black Panther, Norman Osborn.
Not in the original one. No. Illuminati is Iron Man, Black Bolt, Doctor Strange.
Yes, Doctor Strange.
Yeah, Reed Richards, Namor, and Professor X.
Oh, that's the original. Sorry.
Other people kind of came, and there were, I think, like other people were in the Illuminati. Like maybe Black Panther was.
Black
part
Panther
of it
was at one point, and then Norman Osborn became at one point during Dark Reign.
During Dark Reign, yeah. But this is sort of like the original group. This is sort of like, you know, they're like we're the people that are going to like protect the world, you know,
we're
protect
the ones
everything
pulling
from
the
sort
strings.
Yeah,
we're the guys in the eye on the pyramid on your dollar. Ha 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 ha.
They're the ones, you know,
Masons for
kind
life.
From the back, protecting the Marvel universe.
Did you just say, you know,
from the back? Like from the background, right?
I know.
Each of them are part of a
family.
The leader of
Avengers, X-Men,
part of the community, right?
Inhumans, like
the mutants, the magic,
the underwater Antillians, right? Like
the Atlanteans, the Inhumans, right? So, it's does some version of like the multiverse version of the Illuminati's in here, and that goes to a voiceover,
which I didn't hear at all because I was like watching on my phone, and the sound's not like. Oh, it wasn't the best.
I mean, it is. Yeah, they shouldn't have put it in here if they're trying to hide it because it's Patrick Stewart. It's not even a question that it's Patrick Stewart. I mean, maybe some computer trickery to throw people off, but it is 100% Patrick Stewart. He has such a distinct voice. There's no way that's anyone else.
Yeah.
So,
unless somebody at the editing place happened to have some stuff from Picard and Doctor Strange going at the same time and just intermixed them on accident.
Some level of Charles Xavier from some multiverse is going to be in this. Maybe this is X-Men, right? This is it. This is how the X-Men come in via Multiverse of Madness, and there are no mutants on this world, and maybe that's how they explain this. Maybe they'll do a crisis and put the X-Men, in the MCU
it'll be
together.
A war, not a crisis. Wrong publishing company.
Secret.
It'll be something secret.
It'll be a secret. Yeah. I mean, obviously, we have no idea, but there's no doubt about it. That is Patrick Stewart. That's 100% Patrick Stewart talking. So, whatever that means, that's cool. The biggest rumor
is Nova, man.
Well. So this isn't a rumor. That's Patrick Stewart talking. Whatever he is, that's Patrick Stewart talking. The actual like rumor thing is that we are getting a new Iron Man. And that Iron Man is being played by none other than Tom Cruise.
Hold on a second while I blow my brains out.
Which I have beyond so the rumor is there is a character flying around that
it could be Nova.
Nah, it's Monica Rambeau. It's people are pretty confident it's Captain Marvel. It's Monica Rambeau, Captain Marvel.
Oh.
Whether she's part of the Illuminati, whether it's a multiverse thing, but it's a little tough to tell. People thought, is that Nova? Nah, some of those shots, it's pretty obvious that it's Monica Rambeau. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's not, but that's sure what it looks like.
I mean, again, we don't know. I mean, I saw it and is that Dr. Fate? Did they put the wrong character in this movie?
So the idea here is that he is playing Superior Iron Man, and he will be the multiversal Iron, because obviously Robert Downey Jr. is gone, right? He's dead, and I don't think he's coming back to any of these movies. Now look, if we get Tom Cruise as Iron Man for 5 minutes in this movie, and that's the end of it, fine. I do not want Tom Cruise running around in the Marvel universe like in his own set of films as like an alternate reality Iron Man. I really dislike Tom Cruise. People seem a little weird when I've said this. I don't feel like I'm alone in this. I actively dislike Tom
So
Cruise. I do not watch his movies. I think he's a not a good guy.
so for me, I think I don't actively go and try and watch Tom Cruise movies anymore. I used to when I was younger. I used to like Tom Cruise movies. Um, I'm always intrigued by a new Mission Impossible movie, but I haven't like been like, yeah, I need to go sit in the theater and watch that.
No,
Um, and I think I've just been so disconnected with Tom Cruise as an actor for a long time that I just don't care anymore. I like him in the roles that I used to watch that I enjoyed the movies for, but going forward, I'm just not a huge fan of his in particular. Like, there's a couple of movies I want, like I have on my like watch list, but like I don't. If I see a Tom Cruise is going to be in the movie, I'm kind of just like, meh, you know. But I think that's also just due to the past 20 years of just hearing how much of a kind of religious weirdo douchebag the guy can be. So it's yeah, I don't know. I know I'm not scoring any points with those Scientology people.
I'm the same. No, I'm the same. I have just absolutely no interest in ever watching anything he does. And to me, the great thing about the majority of the casting of like the main actors in these movies have been that they're lesser actors to, I don't say unknowns. I don't think there's been like anyone like out of completely unknown, but they are not casting. They are not casting Tom Cruise to be Iron Man, right? I mean, obviously Robert Downey Jr. is a big name. Obviously Sam Jackson's a big name. These are known people. The villains are obviously
Robert Downey
they get big
Jr.
names
is
for villains.
more of a
well, he had been,
but the thing
off
is
the radar for years.
But the thing is, Robert Downey Jr. as a like himself is Tony Stark in a sense because of his own struggles with addiction, his own struggles with being, that kind of narcissistic personality, right? Like that's always been, Robert Downey Jr.'s like that's who he was, right? So seeing him play Tony Stark was, I mean, the biggest fucking typecast known to man, but I didn't care because it was when you read Tony Stark in the comic books, you can just juxtapose Robert Downey Jr. And I think,
he's fantastic.
And I think him having that, experience of life with his drug addiction and the back and forth and all that stuff, I think that really helped him play a character, especially when they didn't play up the alcoholism, but it really kind of gave you those highs and the lows for that character. Even in Iron Man 3, despite it not being great, he was still Tony Stark, right? So,
yeah. I don't need Tom Cruise. I don't need Angelina Jolie. I don't need what the hell is his face? What the hell is his face that's in Eternals? I don't need Harry Styles. I don't need those people in my movies.
Well, I don't care if a big name actor comes in and they're playing a smaller role or a role that's not the main role, right? Like they're not the driving force for the movie. You know what I mean? Like Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel was Groot. All he said was, "I am Groot."
Like, right? And like I said, I don't care about that. It's not. I'm not saying they've cast like complete unknowns for all these roles. They obviously have some big names in there, but I'm okay if Tom Cruise is a dickhead Iron Man variant for
5 minutes,
for a couple scenes in one movie. Yeah. I don't want him.
You don't want the superior
Iron
Man movie.
Not a regular thing. No, I don't.
They're going to do a TV show. It's going to be 12 episodes.
and like with Angelina Jolie, like they just punt her out of Eternals super fast. She's barely in it, right? So like, I mean, I don't.
I think Harry Styles was a choice for. I mean, honestly, it's a choice to get a different demographic in. It's to revitalize the.
And I don't think you need to do that. Is what I'm saying. These movies are plenty popular, and I think
they're plenty popular on their own. But I think in taking, they're looking at it from a perspective of they're popular on their own. We want to make them more popular, right? We want to.
You can't. They are the most popular things in cinema. You cannot make them more popular.
They will K-pop the shit out of these things. Like
if BTS shows up as like a group of mutants or something, I'm just gonna be out. Like I don't need that.
Why you got something against BTS? Like,
there are great actors. Paul Rudd's fantastic. He's a name. Like I said, I'm not saying that I don't want like known quantities in these roles. But Tom Cruise and Angelina Jolie represent a level that we grew up with. You also have to remember that, like, they've been around longer. No, they are the pinnacle of Hollywood. I don't need that in the Marvel movies. You don't need a Brad Pitt
in there. You don't need a.
I don't need Brad Pitt. I mean, again, I like Brad Pitt.
Okay, hold on.
Just fine. He's great.
Who would you cast? Who would Brad Pitt be in your MCU movie?
They're gonna make him like Wolverine or something like that, and I'm just kind of like,
no, it's long shot. You make Brad Pitt long shot done, right?
Sure, if he shows up for 5 minutes, like again, I don't mind these actors. I other than Tom Cruise, I have nothing against Harry Styles. Personally, I just don't need to see him in a Marvel movie. I like Angelina Jolie well enough. I just don't need to see her in a Marvel movie. I don't like Tom Cruise. I really do not want to see him in a Marvel movie. So that's the end of it. We'll see. It doesn't seem like. I mean, that's the big rumor. I don't think there's any evidence of him being in this trailer. But that's the big rumor is that we're going to get Tom Cruise.
Well, apparently, I mean, from what the rumors I've heard,
part of the
wants
Illuminati
to be in an MCU movie.
I mean, I like paychecks too, so you know, everyone wants to be in an MCU movie. So,
oh man,
yeah.
You know who he can be? He can be the eyeball guy.
The eyeball guy?
Yeah, the guy that's just the eyeball with the eyeball head.
That's in all the Jason Aaron comics? Yeah. The orb?
The orb.
The orb? That's all I got. All right. Well, we will see. We will see if any of this comes true. I'm fine with most of it coming true. I'm hoping... I'm very much hoping that Tom Cruise is not in Doctor Strange. It looks great, though. Oh, man, all those scenes of Shumagorath. I don't know what they're going to call him. They're not calling him Shumagorath, from what I understand. But, dude, give Sam Raimi just let him go crazy with the horror stuff in this. It looks fantastic. Doctor Strange looks so good. I hope the Multiverse Illuminati Professor X stuff is like just a little bit of it. I that was a little bit of my concern with Spider-Man was that, they're going to.
Well,
it's just gonna be too much. No, I want Doctor Strange and America Chavez is in this movie for some reason. I have no idea why, but like, sure, introduce her wherever, it doesn't matter. Just fighting the horrors and fighting Baron Mordo and Shumagorath and the fucking nightmares, and then you can do the multiverse crap. You know, the multiverse people. I mean, the Illuminati stuff a little bit, but give me Sam Raimi horror all over this movie, and Doctor Strange is going.
What would you do? Bananas. What would you do if Bruce Campbell had an cameo appearance in this movie?
Oh, he's 100% gonna have an appearance in this movie. I mean, it's a Sam Raimi movie. Bruce Campbell's going to be in it. Like, I'm super excited. I can't. Maybe now Bruce Campbell
as superior Iron Man, as
an Iron Man variant. I'd be totally down with. I can actually see Bruce Campbell playing.
Maybe
Doctor Strange
they deep faked Tom Cruise into the trailer to psych you out that it's Bruce Campbell.
I could 100% see Bruce Campbell playing like a variant Doctor Strange. I think he's got the face for it. I think that would actually be okay. I wouldn't mind
he's
that at all.
He's the J. Scott Campbell Doctor Strange.
That chin, man. God, who would Bruce Campbell be? That's a good question. Oh yeah, he's 100% going to be in it. Though. I can't wait. Can't wait to see who he is. Let's see.
Yeah, I have to watch the trailer again. I just haven't had a chance to sit down and like actually watch it for what it's good. Is. But it's good. Mean, I'll rewatch it at some point.
Yeah. No, it's fantastic. I cannot. It's a good trailer, very good trailer. I'm really excited to see what they do with Doctor Strange. Again, I love the idea. The Doctor Strange comics have always been a little hit or miss for me, but I love the idea of a horror magic Doctor Strange movie by Sam Raimi. Like, you've got my number, Marvel. That I'm totally down for that. Just do Tom Cruise out of it. Just no Tom Cruise. No Tom Cruise, and I'm there. Okay.
Hashtag no Tom Cruise.
Just no Tom Cruise. Just release the no Tom Cruise cut.
Oh,
okay?
Jesus.
Just get him out of here.
Hey,
that's it.
It'll just be another birthday present Leanne gets you.
We'll cut Tom Cruise out of the movie. We'll deep fake him with someone else. With Bruce Campbell. Bruce Campbell can be Superior Iron Man. That'll take. All right, that is it. Thank you all for another wonderful podcast. Thank our top tier Patreon backers: Joe Duff, Kelsey May, Craig Anderson at ClearPathCoaches.com, Jimmy Rivera at the Social Forum Podcast, and Talon Bray. Thank you all very much for your support. And yes, and everyone over at Patreon.com/Comic Conspiracy. Kick us a couple bucks. A couple of people asked about the question that it's there as far as I know. There is a stickied thread on the top of our page for questions from Patreon people. So if you have a question for the podcast, put it on there. We used to send out weekly emails. We used to do all this stuff. It was too much to handle. It was just too much to keep track of when we had to do it and blah, blah, blah. And I don't want to flood people's inbox. It's there. Ask questions on Patreon.
You didn't want any more digital waste. Just put your question at Patreon. Yes.
And if we
maybe we'll get one of those miraculous email episodes where we go back into the vault and look at emails
I was going to say I haven't. We do Twitter questions or something like that when we're pretty low on topics or we don't have a ton to talk about. So fortunately, we had quite a bit the last couple of weeks. But we always like our
listener interaction.
Our listener interaction. Yeah, sure. Our questions and yep.
And all you have to do is $1. $1, you can ask a question.
Yep. Patreon.com/comicconspiracy. And head over to comicconspiracypodcast.com for all our previous episodes, Apple Podcast as well. We always appreciate the support, or wherever you find your podcast. It's not Spotify. Fuck those guys. Comicsconspiracy.biz, where you can purchase books from us. Comics, pick up, shipping all the time. Lots of stuff.
Oh, jeez, it never fucking ends.
That's the job. Conspiratorbrock.com is where you can find Brock's blog, pull list, unboxing videos, and other stuff when he's got the time. Who's got the time? Nobody's
I mean, with all the shipping I'm doing, I'm like, I have no time.
Wanders in the Fourth Dimension podcast, Charlie's Doctor Who podcast. You can check out the weekly interview series called Between the Panels at fanbasepress.com. That's from Kevin Sharp. He interviews some really great people over there, so make sure to check that out. And don't miss my wife Leanne's site, leannehill.com and etsy.com/shop/LeanneHillArt. You can find all her art on there and purchase it. You can also pick it up at the store as well. And if you're on Twitter, you can follow all of us. Ryan Higgins Ryan is myself. Brock is Brock Sager. Toby is Toby XI. Charlie's Insanity and Chaos. Kevin is that Kevin Sharp. The store is Comics Con Store. And please listen to Geekbox. We had people were out last week, so we didn't do. Should have a new episode next week. And some of our friends over at Manga Machination talk about manga and anime. I always appreciate hearing about that the Japanese comics and cartoons. Okay, that's it. Should be back next week for a normal episode unless something funky happens. We'll see you then. Goodbye.